Hey, my handsome ladies and gentlemen, this is Shmeaty, and in today's video, I've come to the realization I do not like Charjabug. As a matter of fact, I hate Charjabug. So, in today's video, we're going to be running a team to hopefully make every Charjabug user's day miserable with a team of Pokemon that can easily handle a Charjabug. We have my Vigoroth, Shadow Gligar, Charjabug's worst nightmare, and my Charjabug, which is an attack weight which can easily win CMP. If you find enjoyment in today's video, or you hate Charjabug yourself, feel free to leave this video a like and subscribe. But without keeping it too much longer, let's hop into the matches. We're going to be kicking things off with game number 1, leading Vigoroth into Serperior. Now, whenever I see a Serperior on lead, and they're 1500 CP, this is by no means like mathematically or science based here, by the way. I just think they're on left Tyrando, so I am going to fire off my body slam immediately, because if they went for a sneaky 5 and left Tyrando there, I could have gotten debuffed and then been in a miserable matchup. They're going to build up to 10 Vine Whips and fire off a move here. I'm going to no shield whatever this is, as I know that I can live, and I've grabbed the shield from the Serperior here, and I'm going to be able to make another move if they don't throw a second time. So I'm perfectly fine with this. We're going to let the Vigoroth go. Vigoroth has served its purpose in getting a shield advantage, and so we are going to prioritize getting Charjabug energy as opposed to Gligar energy here, as this Volt Switch farm down is going to amount to a lot more total energy than the wing attack down from the Gligar. Unfortunately, we are going to have to take 2 moves, and I'm not really willing to give up a shield here. So we're going to get dangerously low on our Charjabug, and they have a Gligar of their own in the back. Not really the best thing for me to see. So far, this team is ABA weak to ice, but honestly, so am I. Always, all the time. In another team I'm running, I'm also ABA weak to ice, so fair play. They're going to bring in a Quagsire here, and I'm firing off the dig immediately. If they were to no-shield there, I'd be okay with taking that massive damage there. So that's why I sent there, but they actually didn't, and this Quagsire is firing off Stone Edges at my Gligar. This is telegraphing to me that they're on Mud Bomb, so I am going to put up a shield, but I miscount. I think that could have only been a Mud Bomb, and so we're going to fire off the dig here. This dig is going to do solid damage onto the Quagsire. Quagsire now dropping very low, and they're going to fire off another move. This is okay. If they Mud Bomb here, I'm going to be able to live it. They bring in their own Gligar, and oh my goodness. We may actually be able to pull this game off. It's getting dangerously close. We've got the 2 moves loaded. Oh my goodness, we clicked on the wrong move. We need to have another move loaded here, or this Gligar will make an aerial ace. We have the X-Scissor banked. I forgot which side the X-Scissor was on. I'm going to be completely honest. I never run Charjabug. In comes the Quagsire, only to get farmed down. GG Sleuth Trainer. On to the next match. It's going to be Charjabug into our Vigoroth. And now if I lose this game after trying to triple hard counter this guy's lead, I'm absolutely certifiably washed. We're going to fire off the Rock Slide immediately. A lot of Charjabugs don't respect this Rock Slide, and so they're now in Body Slam range, which is pretty cool. I'm going to no-shield anything they throw here, and if they're able to outpace me here, so be it. I'll let the second move through as well. They are doubled up, so I am going to let this through. Down will go my Vigoroth, but I am going to look at this as an opportunity to get a bunch of farm on my Gligar. They're going to bring in their Azumarill. Since I'm not taking too much damage from the bubbles, I'm going to bank up a bunch of energy and switch out into my Charjabug here. Charjabug is going to be able to fire off the discharge, and I believe this was on CMP. This is going to do a fat amount of damage onto the Azumarill. They're going to be able to fire off a move here, but I'm going to no-shield it. Not going to respect this energy. I am 100% on team make the Azu prove they're on Hydro Pump to get respect from you. They're going to build up to another move here, and I'm going to actually put up a shield. Now that that Volt Switch went through, we may very well be able to get this Volt Switch down. We're just able to, and that is absolutely massive for us. They're going to bring in their Charjabug. I'm going to fire off 1 Volt Switch and the X-Scissor here. X-Scissor will, of course, pick up the knockout if they decide not to shield. They're going to bring in their Alolan Sandslash in the back, but now this is a very difficult spot for my team to be in. This Alolan Sandslash is not on Legacy Shadow Claw. They're instead going to be on Powder Snow. Powder Snow is so much worse right now because I have a Gligar remaining in the back. We're going to have to go for the double bait here, but the double bait may not save me. as I'm not going to be able to reach a third move here. I'm getting farmed down so quickly, shadow into shadow, I died just before making the aerial ace, and now it all comes down to this. Are they doubled up? I am going to put up a shield here. I'm going for it. I'm under tapping the discharge. We win CMP, and thanks to the narrowest of margins, we're able to take the victory in that game. GG's to this trainer. Order up. Did somebody order some cringe? It's going to be a Bastiodon lead in the next match. We already know what team this is. They're going to safe switch their Wigglytuff, and I'm going to counter switch with my Charjabug. Unfortunately, this isn't necessarily good for me, but I can't allow my Vigoroth to take too much charm damage in this matchup, because then it won't be healthy enough to handle the Bastiodon and Victory Bell combo in the back. I'm going to put up a shield here, hoping that my charge move pressure is going to be enough to overcome the Wigglytuff's fast move pressure, but I'm getting dangerously low. I put up the shield there. I'm going to be able to reach the back-to-back moves here. We make the X-Scissor at the last second, and they're going to have to give me both of those shields or both of those cheeks. As the saying goes, they're going to put up their final shield, and in comes my Vigoroth. We are absolutely ready to counter down this Wigglytuff. And it's going to be an Icy Wind. We're going to no-shield it, and in comes the Bastiodon. But they aggressively pivoted out of the Wigglytuff into the Bastiodon. And one thing you never do, kids, is aggressively pivot a Bastiodon, because this is what happens. It gets an immediate answer. There's an answer to Bastiodon on like 90% of teams, so you never aggressively pivot it without seeing what the entire team is. Nevertheless, we are going to bring in our Gligar, overfarm a massive amount, and fire off the dig. I know this Bastiodon is very low, and I know you may be thinking this is aerial ace range, but it's just too bulky. It would have lived that, and it made a move on that final smackdown there. This is it, the moment of truth. I'm ready for that Victory Bell to come in. They tried to wait out their switch timer to see if they could tap into that Wigglytuff for the show and go. It's not gonna happen. Speaking of the Wigglytuff, there it is, and the game is over. Get that cringe shit out of my face. On to the next match. It's going to be Vigoroth leading into a Spark Lanturn. Spark Lanturn is pretty okay for us to see on the lead here. I'm okay with staying in with my Vigoroth and playing out the zero shield scenario. I'm not going to commit a single shield onto my Vigoroth at any point in this matchup. And they are going to fire off some energy here. They have enough for the Thunderbolt, but I'm going to call it as a Surf. They're going to need to fire off their energy right there, but it's a CMP tie, and we make this Rock Slide. So if they don't shield this up, they are going to be incredibly low. And here, they're going to fire off the Surf here, and now we're going to soft lose this matchup as best we can. And now this is a perfect farm down range for our Gligar to come in, get a 2-wing attack head start. And what is it they want to bring in next? It's going to be another Wigglytuff. I am so tired of this Pokemon, dude. And they only made it better in Season 20. Here's to hoping that Metal Claw gets a 2 energy boost as opposed to a 1 energy boost, because that'll allow this thing to hopefully be banished to the Shadow Realm. But anyway, me complaining about Wigglytuff aside, maybe I'll make an I Hate Wigglytuff video next. We're going to be firing off another move onto this Wigglytuff, but of course they are going to shield. They want this debuff on our last Pokemon, and we have 2 shields, but one of them has to go pretty quickly here. I'm reading that this is going to be the Vigoroth in the back. I've seen this line a lot, and I have to no shield here. I know I'm getting increasingly low on health here, but if the Vigoroth makes a single Rock Slide here, I am absolutely cooked. They are going to bring in the Vigoroth, no surprise here, but now I'm so low, the Vigoroth can just commit to firing off Body Slam after Body Slam, as that will pick up the KO from the range that I'm at. I'm going to fire off another X-Scissor, but even 2 more X-Scissors, thanks to me being debuffed twice, is never going to KO. Very unfortunate game here, but well played to this trainer. They played to their win con of getting those 2 debuffs off from the Wigglytuff. They're going to make that last second Body Slam, and this game is over. GG's. Right, on to the next game. It's going to be our Vigoroth leading into a Goodra. We haven't seen yet how we'll play this lead out, but honestly, since we pace quicker than the Goodra, this isn't terrible. I'm going to fire off the Body Slam straight away. It'll take the equivalent of 6 counters for the Goodra to make its first move here. So I am going to fire off that Body Slam with no fear of getting CMP'd. They're going to fire off a move here, but I'm going to play out zeros once again. I'm nearly at another Body Slam, and I know I'll live a Thunder Punch or an Aqua Tail here. They do the same base damage, and so Aqua Tail's just more efficient there. We're going to fire off the Body Slam, and they play out zeros as well. So we are going to win zeros there and make this last second Body Slam onto the Lanturn that comes in. And this is okay with us now. We're in a pretty comfortable spot where now, since this is a Spark Lanturn, Charjabug just cooks. And they're in this pretty terrible matchup. Meanwhile, our Charjabug's just chilling. Although we hate this Pokemon, we're in a good spot with it. They're going to fire off the Surf. We're going to be able to make this X-Scissor here. And X-Scissor is going to do nearly enough to KO here, putting them into a range where we can farm them down. And this is a CMP tie. I am going to commit a shield on our Charjabug. I think I was reading something like double water in back. But it turns out that it is going to be the Vigoroth in the back. We're going to fire off the X-Scissor and grab a shield from the Vigoroth. In comes our Gligar, and I'm building up to the dig. And I'm going to go for the overfarm there because I knew that they were going to try to play into the CMP tie with my dig there. But I'm just going to throw the extra there. I'm just not going to throw there. Now we are going to play into the losing CMP this time and fire off the dig on CMP to their next Body Slam, unfortunately. And I am going to have to commit a shield here because I have a massive amount of energy on this Gligar that would just go to waste if I let that Body Slam through. So I'm going to build up to another dig, and they CMP time me once again. This Vigoroth absolutely has my number. They've got me downloaded. But we are going to reach for another X-Scissor. Lose Con sighted. They could have stayed in and just threw a move with their Vigoroth, but because they didn't, this X-Scissor they allowed me to get by farming down their Lanturn is going to seal the game. GG's to this trainer. In the next match, it's going to be a Galarian Stunfisk on lead. Honestly, this is probably a Pokemon we'll never see again after the next season, with Mudshot and Rock Slide getting buffed. Earthquake took a hit a couple seasons back, and they are going to save switch into their Azumarill, and I'm going to counter switch with my Charjabug, throwing my energy on alignment, but they return the favor, giving me a free Volt Switch in return after I gave them a free Bubble. I forced them to fire off the Hydro Pump there. I wasn't going to respect it if it wasn't a Hydro there, but now I'm actually getting low. Am I going to be able to make the back-to-back moves here? I think I'm in range of one more Bubble, and I am, so they are going to put up a shield and take switch advantage there. Not the best situation for me. So we are going to bring in our Vigoroth as we identify that this resisted counter down is going to go absolutely nutty. We are going to absorb the Play Rough on our Vigoroth here, looking for a massive farm down, and we get it before they're able to make another move. They're going to bring in their Tropius in the back. Not what I was expecting. They bring in their Stunfisk. Maybe they responded to my Gligar switch. Maybe they went for the show and go to try to catch a Rock Slide. But nevertheless, we've got our Gligar here, and we're firing off this energy immediately. The dig does big damage onto the Galarian Stunfisk, and this is probably why Galarian Stunfisk went extinct. This flying Scorpion just does everything Galarian Stunfisk could do, but better. Anyway, we are going to be able to reach for another dig here. This is a CMP tie, so if they let this go, the Galarian Stunfisk goes down, but we're one off another Aerial Ace here, and in comes the Air Slash Tropius, and the fact that they're on Air Slash means that this game should be a win for us. We're going to get the under tap of our Vigoroth for the 0-turn switch on the Rock Slide. We're going to be able to make another Rock Slide here, and this Rock Slide is going to put the Tropius in a range where we're going to be able to get the counter down onto them. We've got 2 shields. We may as well start using them to win this game. Putting up a shield on that Leaf Blade, and this game is over, and we get that farm down. GG's to this trainer. On to the next game, final game of the video. It's going to be Vigoroth into a Mantine, and this isn't great. I would much rather this Mantine be on my Charjabug, as it's really good into both my Vigoroth and my Gligar, resisting the counter damage and having super effective damage to throw at my Gligar. Not the best situation for either of those two to be in. They're going to fire off a move here. It's going to be the Aerial Ace, and now they're going to fire off another Aerial Ace. But now I'm just going to play out the Zero Shield here. I've gotten a shield from the Mantine. They're likely not going to shield this next move, but I am going to be able to fire off this Rock Slide just before getting taken out here. Rock Slide is going to do solid damage onto the Mantine. They see my Charjabug and immediately switch, but they switched a little late, allowing me to make this X-Scissor against this Feraligatr that comes in, and they no-shield it. Honestly, I'm just going to commit a shield here and take that farm down. This is perfectly fine by me. The Hydro Cannon is going to be respected, of course, and they're going to bring in their Registeel in the back. I'm going to bank a move for later and bring in my Gligar. Both of my remaining Pokemon resist the entirety of Registeel's usual moveset here, so this is perfect. Generally, it's a little hard to wall all of Registeel's energy. You need to be like very specific typings in order to do so, but because we have two of those typing combinations here, we are absolutely cooking here. Everything this thing throws is going to be resisted. We dodged the first debuff, did not dodge the second. They're going to bring in their Mantine to snipe my Gligar here, and we go down with our Gligar, but that's fine. We're going to bring back in this Charjabug, fire off one more Volt Switch and the Discharge. Want to fire off these Discharges before we get debuffed here, because a debuff could spell the end of this game. Firing off another Discharge onto the Registeel. This is going to do substantial damage. By Registeel standards, we're going to reach for another move, and they're going to fire off a move of their own. But honestly here, we're just outside of range for any move to KO. We get the Volt Switch down. GG's to this trainer. If you made it to this point in the video, thanks so much for watching. It really means a lot to me, and I was sick and tired of Charjabug. Every time I try to run something cool like Empoleon plus Serperior, Empoleon plus Cresselia, there's always a Charjabug to ruin my day. But today I said no more, and I set out to hunt out for those annoying Charjabugs, and I queued into a grand total of one entire Charjabug the entire time I ran this team. And the video was included in this video. But nevertheless, all that being said, thanks again so much for watching. This has been Shmeaty. I hope to see you guys again next time, and have a good rest of your day. Bye.